Good morning. I have a question for you. Do you understand legal tech? What does it mean? And how it's enabling lawyers nowadays? Today, I have an expert in the field. My guest for today is Antoine Kanaan, the CEO and founder of HAQQ, and a very dear friend. Good morning, Antoine.
Very happy to be here, Ahmed. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much for coming. Welcome to Dubai. I know you're very much frequently traveling between Beirut and Dubai and Abu Dhabi and
a few other
you're
places.
all over
And a few
place.
other places, yeah. But Dubai, I love Dubai. It holds a special place in my heart. We started the company here. The origin story always comes back to Dubai. The heart is in Dubai, you know?
Welcome back. Welcome back. Thank you for coming. And as a guest of Monday Legal, we religiously ask lawyers and legal professionals and everybody of our guests, how do they caffeinate themselves in the morning? What's your coffee?
I always drink my coffee black, no sugar. And I drink a lot of it because you know the culture in the Middle East. If you ever go meet someone, they have to give you coffee and you can't say no. You have to have the coffee.
Absolutely.
And I meet a lot of people. So every day I end up drinking maybe 3-4 liters of caffeine.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So my coffee ritual is, unless I'm in a meeting, don't drink coffee.
Okay. That's great. I want you to tell us a little bit about legal tech. Can you please try to explain as much as you can to us? What does it mean? Where did the word come from? And how is it helping lawyers nowadays?
Awesome. So it's a compound word, right? It's legal and tech. And the meaning is very apparent once we take these two words independently and then kind of combine them. Legal industry is all about getting people access to their rights. It's about making sure we resolve disputes quickly and justice prevails, like they say, right? Legal industry, justice industry, whatever you want to call it. Lawyers are integral because no one can ever access their rights without a lawyer. They're always the medium. And everything we experience when it comes to the legal sector, we have to experience it through a lawyer. Right? It's so vicarious. Tech is something that's not just a trend in legal, it's a trend in every field. And it's revolutionizing things because with the power of automation, with the power of centralized databases, and so many other things that tech brings us, we can really become 50, 60, 6,000 times more productive. And that means we can get 6,000 times more people access to better quality legal services. And that's the mission behind legal tech. The mission behind legal tech is about empowering lawyers with the proper tools and technologies to fulfill their societal mission better, which is make sure their clients have proper representation, can access justice better, and get what they deserve.
Great. I think it's a great explanation to how legal tech is working with us. I remember in the very early days when I was a child working with my father in his office, even to I don't know, clean the library, the bookshelf or do something. And I've seen the development from the typewriter into the electric typewriter into the computer in the beginning, and I saw how technology have evolved so much. But I want you to tell us about today, how the legal tech, what are the applications and what are the tools that is considered the legal tech, away from the other computer, the traditional tools that we have as software or hardware that everybody right now is using, but what are the applications of legal tech into the legal world for the lawyers today that you see are changing the industry?
Right, so that's a fantastic question because, I mean, Microsoft Word is tech and lawyers use it, but it's not legal tech, is it?
Yes.
Because it's such a general use case. It's about writing a document. Legal tech is a lot more tailor-made. Okay, it's like going to your favorite tailor, requesting a suit made just for you. And that's how lawyers should feel about legal tech. It's something that's made just for them. Sometimes, like in the case of HAQQ, by other legal professionals as well. And that's where the synergies get unlocked. They should really think about legal tech as an accelerator. Right now, with the advent of artificial intelligence, AI has become sort of a boogeyman. It's going to come and replace lawyers. It's going to come change things. You're not going to need the lawyer anymore. And in a lot of ways, yes. And you have companies like Do Not Pay. I think it recently went public. And Do Not Pay, its entire thesis is, we will give you your legal services without having to go to a lawyer.
Yeah.
But I think that's the wrong thesis. I don't think tech is the enemy. I think pen and paper is the enemy. I think lawyers should side with tech. I think they should become tech-enabled, tech-empowered, and use these sorts of tools to really 10x their productivity, to really engage and connect better with existing clients and even with newer clients. And what's more, what's better than a digital legal community for lawyers, right? Because lawyers, we're all over the world. And you know this yourself, the power of community, because you're the founder of the Emirates Legal Network.
Yes.
Lawyers love community. They love getting together. So tech should be a calling card. Tech should be, the trumpet, the banner, and we should rally around it, and we should be forming communities of lawyers that are cross-border. Because then, and only then, can we really see a change in the industry. And with lawyers who are really expecting an ROI from tech, it's so diverse, Ahmed. So you have tech that can write contracts better for you, faster. You can save so much on expenses. All the rote work that's in automation, that is multidisciplinary, all of that you can centralize and consolidate. And you can do it much faster and much better. And a good lawyer that has really good tech behind them, that's a great lawyer. No longer good. That's a great lawyer.
I totally agree with you. Me personally, my personal experience, I tried Legaltech in lead generation by just giving a couple of answers every day for free to the general public. Like, there were platforms that creates questions, and these questions get answered by lawyers who are registered onto the platform. And this was one of the, let's say, the main starting points for me with the Legaltech. And later on, I started Emirates Legal Network for creating a social society for lawyers, and it worked fantastic. Later on, I switched to use the AI, and I'm now developing an AI solution. And
there you go.
Just by the regular, even the general AI tools like ChatGPT and Gemini and
they're
other
amazing.
tools, they're amazing. They actually enable you to save a lot of money and a lot of time, and it helped me. So I'm imagining the niche legal softwares and apps would transform a lot our industry. I'm a big advocate for the legal tech and technology in general, and I try to push everybody I work with into this because it actually works and it transforms the experience. It's a lot more fun, actually. Yes.
Yeah. It is a lot more fun because you make more money.
Yes.
Of
course.
And you save more money, and everyone's happier.
Very true.
And that's the promise of tech. It's a promise of abundance. We have to be optimistic, right? We can't let the boogeyman get to us. AI is not going to replace us.
Yeah.
Because AI will need someone to guide it. And you're going to be that person as a lawyer.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, yes.
And that's really the promise of legal tech. Sometimes I see this a lot, especially outside the GCC. Lawyers, especially managing partners, they tend to forget they're running a business, right? They think that running a law firm is something that is completely sacrosanct and completely differentiated between running that and running a business. They don't really see the business model behind it, that it's an agency, right? It's a services business. And the rules that apply to marketing agencies, to software agencies, or to medical practices even, those same rules apply to lawyers. You have the core competency, which is law, and then you have the non-core competency, which is the administration, the marketing, the branding, the accounting, and all the other things you need to do to run a proper business. And I think tech can do so much in helping lawyers solidify their practice and focus on really delivering their core value while not having to worry about the stuff that they're not so expert at, like the accounting, like the scheduling, like anything else, right? And I think tech here really can do a lot. And I think, well, this is a number, right? I believe and I know that it's lawyers' fault for not taking tech to the next level. Because I'm gonna ask you a question. Do you know how many lawyers worldwide use pen and paper, rely on pen and paper versus any other software? Like a percentage. So let's say you have 100.
You're talking about today?
Today, worldwide.
I would be hoping 10%.
Yeah, no, it's 90.
What?
90% of
Are you
lawyers.
serious?
Yes, it's a statistic. You can Google it. 90% of lawyers, all right, rely on pen and paper to run their practice. And then you're left with 10%. And you might be thinking that 10% is using Legaltech. No. 5% is using Legaltech. And the other 5% is just using tech. Right? So this is a virgin market. This is like on the cusp of greatness here. You're going to see lawyers who are usually late adopters, especially of technology. And there are many reasons for this, but you're going to start seeing the entire legal market do a shift towards technology, and specifically legal technology. And that's when the tsunami is going to happen. And I know I said I blame lawyers for that, because at the end of the day, there's no excuse for using pen and paper.
Absolutely.
They can always use any other form of technology. I know I said that, but honestly, something else to consider is there aren't that many good legal tech platforms out there, right? And so it's very difficult to find the right platform, the right sort of technology that will help you and sort of fit in seamlessly into your existing workflows. That's kind of one of the things we wanted to do at HAQQ, is build this perfect platform for lawyers. And I hope, and this is our mission, right? Our mission is to digitize lawyers' connectivity, productivity, and community. That's our mission. It doesn't matter if we're the ones to do it. What matters is it gets done. What matters is it happens and lawyers just get off pen and paper. Because the moment they do that, you're going to see a lot more people have better access to justice. And that's what we really care about.
Well, I cannot agree more. I see the courts and public authorities, not only in the UAE, in many GCC countries and the Arab countries, are developing so much into this direction. So the digitizing law in general and automating the processes with courts, with prosecution, with police departments, and many other departments within the government that is working in the same legal ecosystem, are all moving into digital transformation, and they are working so much in this.
100%.
Can you talk a little bit about HAQQ and tell me, what do you do? What exactly do you, how can I be assisted by HAQQ if I'm running a law firm, like my law firm, for example, with 20 people? So how can this help me?
Right, so let's put it this way, all right? If you're running a law firm of 20 people, you got more than a few things you need to secure. You got to secure your clients. You got to secure new clients and keeping the existing ones happy and managing the relationship there. So you need a lead generator and a CRM, okay? You also need a HR platform, because if you have 20 people working for you, you need some way to organize all the files. You need some way to make sure that everyone's doing their job. And that's the task management section, where if you assign someone a task, how do you keep up? How do you know if it's got done? How do you know where to find the files? And email is very bad, because if you send internal emails a lot, it just gets a lot, like really messy, really quick, right?
Yeah.
Very cluttered.
Yeah.
Because everyone has your email, and you get the spam, and you get the notifications from Facebook and from login and from whatever it is. And that's something else that you need. You need a communications channel, both internally and externally, right? Because you want to communicate with your teams, and you want to communicate with people outside, your clients perhaps. And that's why platforms like Slack or Microsoft Teams really took off. Because besides the communications channel, you can also set meetings on them with a calendar that integrates into everything. And Microsoft Teams especially, you have OneDrive, okay, where you can store your files. And that's very important because if you have clients, they have files. And you want to work on contracts, and you want to do all these different things.
Right.
And you want to keep track of your billing. And you want to also make sure that you invoice properly and you track your expenses and the entire financials of the firm are under control. Furthermore, maybe you even want to get paid by your clients. And the kicker is, with AI coming, why don't we just make everything 10,000 times faster, right? I just described 11 different applications, 11 different companies. But they're not 11 different companies. They're HAQQ. HAQQ is one application for every single law firm, for managing partners, for the entire team. That's super safe, super easy to use, and super affordable. That really integrates all these different aspects into one unique experience that's seamless and helps you, as a managing partner, generate more money from clients while saving money by running a leaner, meaner machine. That's what we do.
That's great.
Yeah.
We're talking about financial control, you're talking about CRM, HR, case management, I assume.
Yes. Task management, practice management, hearing management, litigation management, HR management, as we said.
Yeah.
Billing, finances, literally everything. But it's also a platform. It's a social network for lawyers. Think of it like it's the LinkedIn for lawyers, right? Every lawyer who uses HAQQ gets their own platform with their face, with their logo, with a big contact now, a very big about us, a very nice section detailing their experiences, their areas of practice, where they work, if they can publish any articles as well. You can publish articles on HAQQ now.
Right, nice.
And that's where everything comes in together. We're really trying to build a legal community worldwide of lawyers who are in love with tech and who want to use tech for their benefit.
That must come with a very expensive price, no?
Oh yeah, very expensive. It's completely free because we really believe.
What do you mean? What do you mean for free?
It's for free.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's a freemium model. You can start for free.
Okay.
And you can stay for free forever. And you can make use of all the features. And then if you want extra capacity, then we'll take a very meager subscription from you, right? But you can start and live and enjoy your life using HAQQ for free, forever. Because we really believe that price should never be an issue when it comes to digitization and justice, right? Because we see this as the gateway to better justice worldwide. And if price is an issue, then we're being kind of hypocritical, right? If money is needed to do that, we're being kind of hypocritical, which is something we don't want to do. The GCC is a very affluent area. Lawyers are very affluent people. But I'm not just doing this for the GCC. At HAQQ, we're not just doing it for the affluent lawyers. We're doing it for every single lawyer out there, for every single person on earth. This is a global platform. We're already in 34 countries, and we're expanding very rapidly.
Wow.
So for us, it's more of a global mission. It's a humanitarian mission.
That's great to hear. That's great. Why are you doing this? You studied law. I would assume that immediately you get out of this law school, you want to go to prosecution, you want to be a judge, you want to practice law. What took you? I mean, I like tech as well, but I like to lawyer. I like to do the actual
I love it.
work. But I need to understand what made you shift from going into the practice into just dedicating 100% of your time into the legal tech.
Because it's worth it. And if I don't do it, then who's going to do it? But having said that, there was a very specific moment in time where everything changed for me. So you may or may not know this, but I also co-founded the Lebanon Law Review.
Yes, I know.
An academic publication, legal articles,
Great
media,
initiative.
100%. And we scaled that really fast as well. We went from 2 writers, myself and Isam, my co-founder, in Lebanon Law Review. And HAQQ, Abbas is my co-founder, couldn't do it without Abbas. In Lebanon Law Review, we scaled from 2 people to 95 people within the span of like a year, all right?
Wow.
And whilst we were building up our platform and our reputation, I got a very interesting phone call. I'm Lebanese, right? And I was sitting in Beirut, and I saw my phone ring. Picked up the phone, I saw +20. That's Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
I answered, not knowing who it was, and I heard someone crying on the other side of the phone. It was a woman, and she was crying. She told me her story. She was from Alexandria, okay, Egypt. And she called me because she read our articles, and she needed a lawyer. And I said, why are you calling me? I'm in a different country. Egypt has 600,000 lawyers.
Exactly.
Why are you calling me? Why don't you ask your family, your friends?
She can't find them online.
She can't find them online, and her husband is very well connected, and he was being abusive.
All right.
And that was the story. She was an abused woman with kids, and she needed help finding the right lawyer. And I always, obviously I took permission to do so, but I always mention her name. Her name is Noor. So you could say we're doing HAQQ because of Noor. Because she picked up the phone one day, gave me a call, and was like, I really need a lawyer because otherwise I can't do this anymore. And so I had to help her find a lawyer. So I did. And that was that, right? And then things just went on from there. That was the seed.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's inspiring, the stories you're telling us right now. It's very interesting as well. I want to ask you a question about the challenges throughout the way. I mean, what you have developed and working in the legal tech, I know a lot of lawyers who are not using technology, maybe not necessarily in the UAE, but outside the UAE. I know a lot of lawyers, even worldwide, not just in the Arab region, in Africa, in Europe, and in US. A lot of lawyers
90%
are still
do not.
dependent
90%
on pen and paper, as you said. I did not think it's 90%, honestly. But what challenges did you meet with lawyers when you talked to them about legal technology, and what challenges did you find throughout the way developing the solution you have?
I would say you have 2 main challenges, okay? The first one is fear. Fear, it's a huge one. Fear of the unknown. Fear of not knowing, and this is actually the second one, not knowing, right? And they go hand in hand, it's fear. AI is a big boogeyman. And anything we don't understand, we tend to fear. Lawyers generally are an aging demographic worldwide, and the decision makers tend to be older.
Yes.
Right? So for them, technology is something completely alien. It's something completely foreign. And it doesn't help that a lot of times it's very difficult to use most interfaces. It's very difficult to use technology.
We are very cautious. Like we don't jump into new solutions or new ideas very quickly. We take our time.
And you know why? Because you have a responsibility to your clients to manage their data. And you can't give their data to anyone. There has to be a big level of credibility and trust between you and your tech vendor. So you have a lot going on there. You have a lot on your shoulders. You deal with a lot of people's secrets. Your data is highly sensitive.
Yeah.
It's something you're not necessarily familiar with, and you're afraid that it might replace you. Maybe not you, right?
Yeah.
Because you're developing your own AI.
I'm using it.
But a lot of other people are very afraid.
Right.
This fear is unhealthy, except in the fact that it generated a lot of curiosity. And that's why you're seeing more and more people today embracing legal tech because of this fear. Because had there not been a fear, the inertia would have just been too high. And it's very difficult to fight this inertia. Most lawyers are very affluent. They built villas off of pen and paper. You're going to tell them everything you learned was wrong. What you've been doing to send your kids to school is wrong. What you've been doing to build a
let's say not
grow
wrong,
your business is wrong.
It's outdated, maybe.
Outdated.
Yeah.
It's a tough pill to swallow.
Yes.
It's very tough to swallow.
It takes time.
Yes. So it's a shift. It takes time, but eventually you're going to get there. And I think right now is the perfect time because of AI.
It's quite simple. This is the thing. I mean, using tools. I mean, pen and paper is a tool.
100%.
The car is a tool. The whatever typewriter was a tool. The thing is, if we put the technology on the other side of the table and try to compete with it, that doesn't work. We're going to lose for sure.
100%.
There's
100%.
no way to compete.
Can you outrun a car?
I don't think so. No. The thing is, yes, so we need to use these tools. We need to make them, but just we need to understand how to use it.
100%.
Why is it so hard? I mean, now.
Because we're not used to being reliant. Not in our core competencies. It doesn't shake you that a car can outrun you. It's normal because you're not a runner.
Yeah.
But the difference of speed between you and a Ferrari is exactly the multiplier between you and a legal AI. You're gonna outrun a Ferrari?
I don't think so.
It's not gonna happen. No lawyer is gonna.
I'll be more accurate maybe than the AI.
That's where the drivers come in, right? That's why who's behind the driver's seat matters. That's why everyone has a Ferrari and a Mercedes and a Formula One car, but we hold a Formula One event every Sunday because there's still competition to make. There's still a lot of deals to close, and there's still fame to be won. If you're a lawyer, this is just the beginning. You went from racing on camels to, in the next couple of years, racing on Ferraris. That's a huge shift. And if you're not excited for that, maybe you weren't so competitive after all, right? There's a lot for you to uncover, there's a lot for you to unpack, and there are new racetracks to conquer. It's the same here. You really need to look at tech as a weapon in your hand. You really need to look at tech as a weapon in your hand, not a weapon to your head.
Don't you think there is a gap in the education, like the law schools itself? Like there must be a legal tech.
Oh yeah.
At every bachelor degree
100%,
level.
100%. But look, I mean, the schools follow the professions, right? So for the schools to actually put it in the curriculum, you need the professors who are working in the field to use it. So it all starts with the profession. And honestly, what's the excuse not to? Most tools are free. HAQQ is free. ChatGPT is free. All the tools you need are either free or adequately priced. So what's stopping us, right? I understand there's a big gap in the education system, but that's always going to be here, and honestly, it's not in our control, right? I love to focus on the things we can control, the things we can affect.
Yeah, technology is much faster than education system and curriculums. I remember my law school days when I joined the first year, and I had a computer class. Oh. And I was so much advanced, more than whatever they are.
You're probably better than the professor.
100%. No, maybe not the professor, but I was what I used to learn at the first year of law school to teach me about computer. I was much more advanced than what I learned there, so it was a bit outdated. And I think it will always be like that because technology is much faster.
I agree. And the markets are way faster, a lot faster. So just hop on the trend, just hop on the bandwagon, embrace the future.
I attended 2 conferences.
You didn't attend, you headlined 2 conferences.
I helped as one of the speakers in 2 conferences for HAQQ. And they were in Lebanon, and the title was one of the most brilliant I ever heard.
Thank you.
Lawyers of Tomorrow.
Lawyers of Tomorrow.
This brings me to what I want to ask you. What did you prepare for the lawyers of tomorrow? How the future looks like of the legal tech, and what do you have for the lawyers?
I have what they already have, but in abundance. That's what's prepared. Nothing new, nothing out of the ordinary, nothing scary. It's what they're used to, just more, better, faster. That's the promise of the future. That's the promise of technology. The promise is, let's not change who we are as legal professionals. Let's amplify it. And that, I think, is the promise of tech. It's really about making sure we get to be who we are and be better at being who we are. Because if your tech, if your legal tech, whatever it is, if you think that's coming to change things, I don't think so. I think it's just coming to solidify and really build some nice distribution channels. Make sure you get your message out there faster, you can do your work better, you connect with everyone all at once, and then you build a strong community. The Lawyers of Tomorrow conference, I think, was a particular success. We had 3,200 people in attendance.
Yeah.
We had representations, official representations from 11 different bar associations. We had tens of media outlets. We even had the dead president. Wink, wink. You can check out the video for that. And one of the things that really made it happen was the title. You know, almost all 3,000 registered just from the title, just from knowing this is an event for the Lawyers of Tomorrow. And there's a reason for that. Lawyers want tech. They want it. They're aware of it now. And they want it, and they want it to be easy. And they want it to be accessible, and they want to embrace the future. And that's what the spirit is. The spirit is lawyers who want to embrace tomorrow while keeping their identity rooted in the tradition of who they are.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and I also think, you know, when it comes to technologies, we're really preparing some fantastic things for these lawyers when it comes to like really the tech aspect of things. We're really working on centralizing everything they need into one place. Their legal research, their communications, their productivity, you know, them writing a contract, their AI. And what really separates our AI from every other AI is our AI is like your Mike Ross. Have you seen Suits?
Yes.
You're gonna be Harvey and you're gonna have your own Mike Ross with you, okay? And this mic is gonna just supercharge you. It's gonna give you all the data you need. It's gonna extract, it's gonna generate, it's gonna even do tasks on your behalf. And that's one of the most important features I really wanna talk about. If you think you can't use tech as a lawyer because it's difficult, AI will solve it for you. Because our AI, it's so nice, it's so helpful. You ask it a question. You're like, hey, AI, how do I set a meeting? It replies with one very simple question. Do you want me to teach you how to set a meeting, or do you want me to do it for you? And then if you say, do it for me, then it actually executes the command. That, I think, is going to really drive adoption through the roof. Because once you have that, there's really no excuse. And it's super easy to navigate. And it's exactly like talking to a person. And the person talks back to you. And you have a conversation. And then you get work done. Technology for lawyers is meant to make things simpler, safer, and more productive. That's what's in store. And I think we're really working hard towards making that a reality.
Great job, great job. And I thank you so much for coming to Monday Legal, and I thank you so much for coming to the UAE. Always talking to you is very inspiring. Thank you very much, Antoine.
Honestly, it's a pleasure to be here. It's my honor, so thank you for having me. And I can't wait to see Kato AI really break through everything
very
else.
Soon.
Yeah.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, everybody. This is your dose for Monday Legal. See you next week.